Desde las antenas del HARP, las ondas se dirigen hacia la ionosfera por encima de la superficie terrestre. La ionosfera forma parte de la atmósfera, contiene partículas cargadas eléctricamente y actúa como un espejo. Refleja las ondas de radio a la Tierra. Al enviar ondas de radio a la ionosfera, se aceleran sus partículas calentando ciertas áreas. Después, las partículas reflejan la energía que baja a la Tierra. El HARP es tan potente que puede hacer que la ionosfera vibre en armonía con su señal. La señal de HARP se puede utilizar como un radar más allá del horizonte para detectar misiles y aviones hostiles. Para ello se usan dos sistemas diferentes. Uno crea un espejo de plasma y el otro reenvía la señal.
Zap incoming missiles, disrupt global communications, and engineer the weather.
What does HARP do? HARP is a large antenna where we beam radio frequency energy up into the upper atmosphere, and we create on a small scale what the sun normally does.
HARP uses 1 billion watts beamed straight into the ionosphere for experiments. Picture these strings on the piano as layers of the earth. Each one has its own frequency. What we used to do is beam radio waves into the ground, and it would vibrate any strings that were present in the ground. We might get a sound back like, and we're able to identify each frequency. We accomplished this with just 30 watts of radio power. If you do this with 1 billion watts, the vibrations are so violent that the entire piano would shake. In fact, the whole house would shake. In fact, the vibrations could be so severe underground that could even cause an earthquake.
And ready? There's one more. Some people believe the technology being tested here could be used for sinister projects involving humans. Radio waves messing around with people's brain waves.
Mind control will be the ultimate non-lethal weapon.
Same kind of signals in the same frequency range can affect human mood. The human brain operates on very low frequencies. For example, when we're thinking, actively, we're generating about 13, 14 cycles per second. When we're meditating, we're generating 8 cycles per second. And when we're asleep, the brain waves are running at about 4 cycles per second. And HARP is capable of generating all of these frequencies. These kinds of signals can control the human brain. And if you can control these frequencies and multiples of these frequencies and various combinations, you can control all kinds of emotions. You can generate happiness, you could generate sadness, you can generate any mood you want.
I mean, you're talking about something that can be done with mind control, to where you can affect people's minds and they don't even know it.
That's correct.
And this is masses of people.
Right.
They can do it at a level where you could be walking down the street and you could get infiltrated with these sound waves and you wouldn't even know that they were hitting you.
That's right. And there's two different ways. One would be transferring voice information, and the other would be just affecting you on an emotional level, which is much simpler, which is easily accomplished by HARP.
Is there an example where HARP has actually been used in warfare?
Yes. In the first Iraq War, there's evidence that HARP was used to irradiate the battlefield prior to the invasion from Kuwait. When the tanks rolled into the area, the troops piled out of the bunkers, not willing to give a fight. They gave up in mass. These were the Iraqi troops.
And what exactly did HARP do to them?
It can prevent you from sleeping. It creates anxiety. It can even upset your bowels, how they work. And if it's played just right, HARP can be tuned to a point where it makes the recipient so paranoid they begin to have visions like nightmares.
So what are the real dangers of HARP?
Picture a ground wire, like a long extension cord being stretched from the Earth up to the ionosphere, creating an ion path. If the power that's in the ionosphere discharged back down to the ground, it would be a lightning bolt of devastating proportions.
What would that mean exactly?
Picture 50 Mount St. Helens volcanoes going off every second for a minute.
So the effects could be catastrophic.
Absolutely.
于思想的人能要处罚。
这东西是个方向问题，你在其他方面看不到。
有光线的折射嘛，太阳折射就是用在折射的太阳。
U.S. President Bill Clinton tours a camp for the homeless in Haiti. Anger has been rising among Haitians over the pace of relief efforts in the wake of January's devastating earthquake. Hundreds of people stayed in makeshift tents and temporary.
experts in non-lethal weapons technology. They are consultants to the Defense Department, CIA, NSA, and world-renowned think tanks.
The technology necessary to project three-dimensional images to a point in space requires no new breakthroughs in science. We have the technology now. The specific system development we really can't talk about.
But the Morrises did talk in general about secret military experiments with lifelike 3D projections in the sky called holograms.
Holograms on the battlefield would be to divert the attention of the enemy, to deliver propaganda or something very frightening to make the enemy run away if you think that he will believe that what you're sending is really an angel, a devil, a UFO.
And where could this type of weaponry be tested? Perhaps not coincidentally, along the US-Mexico border at the Army's electronic proving ground in Fort Huachuca, Arizona.
Keep in mind that test facilities like Fort Huachuca in Arizona are electrical optical test beds, and part of what they're testing are the effects of these electro-optical devices on a target population.
And the target population may be us.
America has to test American equipment in America.